Okay, so hello. If you are seeing this for the first time or you've never seen me before, I feel like there's a few things I should explain. So, most of what I stream online is either chess or maybe some Tetris. I like to play Tetris, although it's been a while because I've been trying to learn more about the game of chess. And I work full time at Walmart and I do online school too. So I have a lot going on. Now, I am a person who likes chess, obviously. That's what I stream the most, and I call it Chastity's Chess Challenge. But there is a game that I really like that is not a game of skill. It's Final Fantasy VI. Now, if you ever heard of the Final Fantasy games, you have to understand that um, they are RPGs. You battle monsters and you level up, and you go through a story. And I'm all about games of skill. I don't like randomness very much. So I like board games of skill like chess and shogi, where it's all about the choices of the players. It's not about coin flips or dice rolls or any of that junk. However, here's what's important to understand is that while Final Fantasy VI, the sixth game in the Final Fantasy series, is not a game of skill, it has a great story. It also has a great soundtrack. However, for the purpose of not getting banned on Twitch, I have turned the music off. I've left some of the sound effects on, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I played through this game back when it was released for the Super NES, and it was called Final Fantasy III in America. But in Japan, it was Final Fantasy VI. That's a whole other thing there. And it was re-released for the Game Boy Advance and for the PlayStation and for the Nintendo DS, I think. And there was a PC port that has now been discontinued that I can't even buy anymore, which is kind of sad because it had like some really cool graphics. It was the original PC port before the Pixel Remaster. However, the Pixel Remaster is out. And Final Fantasy VI is my favorite of the games in the series. Because it has a very interesting story. If you played Final Fantasy VI, you will understand that it has a great story. You'll understand why I love the game. If you haven't played Final Fantasy VI, then you should still watch this because I'm about to introduce you to a game from the 90s that was part of my childhood and I think is very important. It's something that everyone can appreciate because it's not too often that a Super NES game gets re-released for multiple systems and is available on Steam, and like it's like 30 years later from when it was originally released. I think it was released in 1994, but I could be getting the year wrong. But that's not important. What is important is that not only did I play through it on Super NES, I also have completed the game on the Nintendo Switch, and I completed the game on the Pixel Remaster previously, and I started playing through it on the iPad because they even have an iOS port. They've ported this game, the whole Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster series. Games 1 through 6 have been ported to so many platforms. And this game is worth playing over and over. And people who are big fans of Final Fantasy VI are going to agree with me. So you may wonder, why am I going to play through it again? I'm going to play through this game again, and I'm going to do the low-level challenge. Now, I did a low-level challenge on the Nintendo Switch. It was pretty awesome. However, I made a critical error. So when I did a final, now, okay, let me back up. Let me explain. A low-level game in Final Fantasy VI is where you intentionally avoid gaining experience points. There is one exception that I'll get to in assuming I get that far in this series. But for the most part, the idea is how far can you go? Can you complete the game without leveling up any of your main characters? And you may wonder, how does that work in an RPG? Well, here's the thing you have to understand. In Final Fantasy VI, your characters, when they level up, they gain hit points and magic points, but their other stats don't increase. That is, unless they have an Esper equipped while they level up, and then their stat will increase according to what Esper that is. But here's the problem: you don't get any Espers until you're already a third into the game story. So that means any leveling up you do is cheating you out of stat points you could get. So if you do a low level game, you can actually get stronger characters because you advance to the point where you get certain Espers, and then you're allowed to level them up. And that's what I did in the Nintendo Switch edition of Final Fantasy VI. But I made an error. I was in the Magitech facility, and I had brought in some stupid characters. I had with me Celes and Locke, of course, but they're mandatory. You have to include them. It's part of the story. And then I had Edgar and what was his name? Cyan. Yeah, I had Edgar and Cyan, and I thought they were good characters. Well, it turns out they were not powerful enough to get me through the boss fight. On the railroad tracks where you're escaping from the Magitech facility, they were not powerful enough to get me through the fight. And so what I did is I broke my low level game principle, and what I actually did is, because at that point I had the Bismarck Esper, I started leveling up Locke. I killed off the other characters and then leveled up Locke so that every time he leveled up during those random fights while you're on the tracks, he would level up. So he'd gain more hit points, but he would also, with Bismarck equipped, gain 2 to his strength. So I leveled him up to like level 8, and then he was powerful enough to actually defeat the Magma Rotor, whatever it was. So now my characters were still low level. All of them were like below level 10. So I leveled them up after that point, and they still became very powerful. Don't get me wrong, they were very powerful. And I was able to get a level 99 Terra in a Nintendo Switch that had 128 magic and 128 speed, because I later got the Raiden Esper, so I could level up speed. And speed is actually really good, because the faster the speed is, then the more turns they get relative to their enemies. But anyway, enough rambling. I've gone on for quite a while about this game. And I'm gonna get started playing, and I'm going to explain every step of the way with what I'm doing. So if I go to load game, you will see that I have tons of save files. So I have some save files in the World of Ruin, where I have like level 92 characters, and I have several backups of those saves. And then as we go further down, you'll see that I have World of Balance characters. The idea behind having save files for the World of Balance and World of Ruin was that I was going to. And actually, let me make my camera a little bit smaller here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's see here. I may be adjusting my camera view a little bit as I go on. I don't want it so big that it distracts from the game. So I'm going to have to figure out the best way to do this. I'll figure it out as I go along. In fact, what I think I'll do is I may turn off my camera here, just so it doesn't distract from if it doesn't cover up anything. I'm going to turn off my camera for a little while here. So, but what happened is the bestiary. I messed myself up with the bestiary, and if we go to, let's see, options, configuration. Okay, that's okay. Let's go to extras bestiary. If you go to the bestiary, so you see, I have 271 out of 346 enemies encountered. And the idea here is to fill the list. However, I found out something. Number 39 on the bestiary is an enemy that only appears once in the game, and I missed my chance. It's part of the Imperial camp outside of Doma. I missed my chance, meaning I have to start a new game to get that. And then there were several enemies I missed, and they are part of the Magitech factory. And the reason I missed them is precisely because I had turned random encounters off when I had just played through the first time. I had the random encounters off, and during most parts because I didn't want the battles to distract from the story. So I cheated myself out of the achievements. So I really have to start a new game. I have to start a brand new game. And if I'm going to start a new game anyway, I may as well start a low level challenge. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start a brand new game here. So this explains about the War of the Magi. It explains the War of the Magi and what's so important about it. So the War of the Magi is an ancient war that happened way back 1,000 years ago, according to the storyline of this game. And it becomes more clear what the War of the Magi was. And see, there's the people of the Empire. The Emperor wants to use magic for world domination. And that's, introduced at the beginning of the story here. So the goal of this run, the goal of this playthrough of what I'm doing here, is that I am trying to see if I can beat the game without leveling up any of the main characters. And it's actually quite a challenge because without leveling up, you have low hit points and magic points. And so you have to really use some strategy. Okay, yeah, so here is where there's Terra, and there is the two soldiers, Wedge, and actually, I'm going to skip. There's an option to skip. Yes, I want to skip the scene because anybody can play through that scene. You can I want to skip through the scene because if you've played the game, you just start a new game, then you can review that if you want. But the goal of this is not to show all the cutscenes. The goal is to begin a new game and to see how far I can get. So when you start a low level game, first thing you do, you go to configuration. Battle mode wait is fine. Cursor memory on. Continue auto battle on. And to speed things up, let's do run for the default speed. And then we have to go to boost. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm just going through. Okay, so you go to boost in the options here. When you first start your game, this is what you do. You do boost, and then this lets you change the amount of experience points you gain in the battle. This is very important. See, because there's one time, there's two times, there's four times, there's 0.5. So what you want to do is you want to set the experience to 0. If you set the experience to 0, you won't gain any experience points. However, you can set the gold, the gil that you get to 4 times. You may as well do the same with the other because what we're trying to avoid is experience points. We are not trying to avoid the encounters. That's why we're leaving encounters on, but we're avoiding experience points. The idea is to not level up the characters, but that we want to, yes, we want to be able to go through the game, if possible, without leveling up the characters. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to use the spells and the weapons and armor they acquire to power them up instead. So what you want to do here is you may as well go through all the encounters. So we have a battle here. Now, these initial battles are actually very important. Well, I mean, they're not that important, but see, I meant to say they're easy. These battles are easy because you're in Magitech armor, so you have these powerful fire beams, and you can wipe out all the enemies with no trouble. And notice how we gain 0 experience points. We gain gold, but we don't get any experience points. There are ways to power up your characters without actually having to level up. And there are people who have been able to beat this game without leveling up any of the main characters. There's 14 main characters, and you don't necessarily have to level them up. You really don't have to. So it's mandatory that you have to go through these battles because you're just beginning the story here. Okay. None of these enemies are any threat when you have fire beams from Magitech armor. They're just not any threat whatsoever. Okay, and also I'm going to go in the configuration. Let's see here. We want to change. Let's see here. Battle speed. We because let's set the battles to very fast. Because the idea is that if you set the battles to very fast, then you'll be able to go through more battles because your meter will fill up faster. Because we're going to be having a lot of battles. We're not going to be leveling up through them, but we're going to go through a lot of battles. So this may seem like a boring process because it takes longer to complete the game when you're doing a low level challenge. But it's very rewarding because there's that satisfaction of doing one of the hardest challenges in video game history. Because, okay, now, if you do a low level game in Final Fantasy VIII, which I actually have been working on a little bit privately because I'm not experienced with it, but you can do a low level game in Final Fantasy VIII because it has the junction system. The junction system is a system whereas you gain stats by junctioning espers and spells. Okay, so Terra is level 3 here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to use Terra's magic to cure all the characters. Okay, and then we're gonna save here. We're just gonna save slot 1 and Terra's level 3. And all of my other saves, I'm not going to delete those saves because those saves are actually very important to me. I spent hours, 18 hours on this, 10 hours on this. So this low level challenge will be a separate thing. It'll be my low level game specifically for completing the bestiary, earning the Steam achievement for that. Okay. So now we have to fight Welk, the giant snail. So Soldier crushes the gate by smashing into it with the armor, and now we have our first boss fight. This is actually not too hard of a boss fight because you have Magitech armor. So the characters are like talking about this snail that eats lightning. Yeah, it eats lightning and stores energy in its shell. So you don't hit it with lightning and you don't attack the shell. We're gonna use Magitech Missile. Terra has Magitech Missile, but the other soldiers don't. It's slightly more powerful, And that's because Terra is basically just like a really powerful girl here, but she's under the control of the Empire at this point. So now, oh no. Okay, see, here's what's wrong is I prepared that. See, Terra yeah. Okay, so here we have a problem because Terra got KO'd. I didn't mean for that to happen, but see, Whelp went in its shell, so then the planned attack of Terra, it attacked the shell. So yeah. Now, assuming we don't have any more problems like that, we should still be able. Oh no! Oh no! This is horrible. Okay, that's not good. Okay, so okay, we're going to use Healing Force on Wedge here. Yeah, Terra got killed on one hit, and I don't have any Phoenix Downs. A Phoenix Down is an item that lets you revive your dead characters, but you don't have any when you're first starting the game. Oh, okay. We're going to use Healing Force. Yeah, we're just going to use Healing Force. And then we're going to, yeah, we're going to wait for him to come back out, and we're going to just keep attacking the head, but never the shell. That's what you don't want to do. You want to make sure. Okay, when he says grok, that means he's about to go in his shell. So you wait until he comes back out of his shell. Okay, all right. As long as you don't mess up too badly and attack the shell too many times, you can pretty easily survive this fight. It's not that difficult. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use Healing Force on both of the soldiers while the snail is in its shell. I kind of wish that Terra hadn't already gotten killed. I should have been more careful, but I think that I will still be able to complete this battle. Let's try. Okay, there we are. We completed the first boss fight. It's actually not that difficult to complete that boss fight. It's not hard. So the snail just disintegrates, and Wedge and Biggs defeat it just fine, even though Terra's dead, which is ironic because she's the main character. So, but she's only dead temporarily because then she comes alive again when they talk to the frozen Esper. Now, if you've played the Super NES game, this is called Tri-Talk, whereas in the Pixel Remaster they named it Valamagarda or whatever it is. So this is where Terra talks to the Esper. Terra talks to the Esper here. Well, she doesn't talk, she doesn't say anything, she just stands near it. And then the Esper, it's in the block of ice, and yet it just like kills. Whether it killed the soldiers or whether it just teleported them with its magic powers somewhere else, we don't really know. The story never reveals what happened to those guys, although they've come back in Final Fantasy VIII, so what does that tell you? Okay, so now the Esper destroys the Magitech armor that Terra is wearing. Okay, so now Terra is in the bed. Yeah, Terra is in the bed here. Okay, so um, Arvis removed the slave crown. There was a slave crown that the Empire used, and they controlled Terra with it. And also, during this time, what I think I'll do is I think I will put my camera back on, because I just want you to be able to see me. Wait. Okay, so okay. Alright. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my camera right back up here, just so you can see me, who it is playing. It's me. I know I'm not much to look at, but I know how to play Final Fantasy VI. I've done it so many times. So what you have to understand about Terra here is she is a mysterious young woman born with the gift of magic and enslaved by the Gestalian Empire. So she was born with the gift of magic, but at this point in the story, you don't know why. I know the answer because I have played this game before. So we're gonna leave her name. You could rename her something different, but her official name is Terra. So we're just gonna stick with default names. She says, "My name is Terra. Impressive. I've never heard of anyone recovering so fast. You must be made of tougher stuff than most." Okay, so now the soldiers of the Narshi town here, they are after the intruders that had come searching for the Esper. That they're Yeah. So they know that Terra worked for the Empire, even though she doesn't remember it, because she lost her memory because she was under the control of the slave crown. That's what you have to understand. So what you have to do now is, first of all, I'm going to quick save because yeah, because even when you don't have a save point, you can still quick save, and you want to do that because that's important in some places. But save points are better because they're more permanent. Okay, so they're trying to capture Terra, but Terra is escaping through the Narshi mines. And okay, there's a spritzer. Okay, so spritzer. I have this horrible cough that's gone on for like 5 weeks or something. I have a medical condition. I may be dying, but that's not important. What is important is that this is a good game, and I plan to go through this game doing a low level challenge. Okay, so at this point, it's probably a good idea to just use a potion because you get potions randomly as you fight enemies. And here's what I'm going to actually do. I'm going to fight a few more enemies because there's going to be a battle coming up, and you're going to want to use the potions. So what I'm doing right now is I am intentionally fighting these battles just so that I can get a few more potions because there is a battle coming up. That's one thing that you want to do in a low level game is you do want to get some weapons here. I'm going to actually use wait, okay, I didn't mean to do that. Actually, I'm just going to keep doing regular physical attacks because right at this point it's probably the best thing to do. Yeah, okay. So the idea here really is nothing more than gaining a few potions, and you're gonna see why. Um, but I won't do it too much. But yeah, there's a lot of spritzers. Okay, yeah, I'm gaining those potions. And watch this. So at the beginning, Terra has some powerful magic. She can use fire, which is actually enough to wipe out most enemies fairly quickly. So it's definitely worth, just we have Spritzer and we have Bandit. It's definitely worth just fighting some battles. And yeah, Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually use her cure magic because the potions are gonna come in handy later on. Because potions, if you don't have potions, then you basically have no way to heal because there's parts of the game where you don't have Terra and her cure ability. And you don't gain the Espers till much later in the game, so you're going to be relying on potions a lot. Okay, let's do one more random encounter here, and then we're going to use the save point. Yeah, not bad, not bad at all. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm just going to save to, yeah, the first 3 save slots. We're going to leave all of the other saves alone and just use the top 3 save slots. We don't need any more than 3. In fact, we only need 1 technically, but there's actually a reason I'm thinking of using more than 1 save slot, like for backing up to a place before I made a mistake. Yeah, so there's going to be a few random encounters on our way to the next area here. Okay, so now here's where the soldiers they checkmate Terra. She has no escape, and then she falls through the ground as it collapses in a cave, as caves sometimes do, and then she goes unconscious for a while. So Terra goes unconscious again. All right, and now here it shows a memory. It shows where Kefka put the slave crown on her, so that she would be under his control. Terra has just been a slave to the Empire for a long time. But she doesn't really remember much of it. But this is a memory of when Kefka had used Terra to destroy some of the Empire's own soldiers because she had a lot of power. She has magical powers beyond just what the suit gives her. And here's the evil Empire Gestalt. And the lost power of magic has returned to us. We have been chosen. You weren't chosen. You just stole the magic from the Espers. That's what you did. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I know the whole storyline, so it's too easy for me to spoil the story. But let's just basically say Terra and her friends saved the world. That's what's going to happen here. Anybody who plays these games knows that's how it goes. So here, the old man says, "Took you long enough, busy with the robbing and plundering, I presume." And then Locke is all offended to be called a robber. And see, he is a treasure hunter and trail-worn traveler, searching the world over for relics of the past. And so after we get named Locke, Locke is like, "I prefer the term treasure hunting." Ha, semantic nonsense. There's a huge difference. Yeah, because he's a treasure hunter. He doesn't consider himself a thief. Okay, so then the old man tells Locke that the Empire was controlling the girl, and he wants Locke to help Terra escape. So that's what Locke does. Locke finds Terra in the caves, and he's going to try to help her escape the city. But as it turns out, the Narshi soldiers, they want to capture Terra, and they'll probably make her a prisoner and punish her for her deeds that she wasn't even responsible for. She was under mind control of a slave crown. The people she killed were not her choice. Now here's the Mughals. Now the Mughals are these bizarre cat creatures that also have tiny pink wings and an antenna on their head. They look hilarious. So the Mughals decide to help Locke protect Terra from the Narshi soldiers. The Mughals don't play much of a role, but Yeah, and he can give you an explanation, but I already know how to play the game, so I'm not gonna have an explanation. So here's what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is see there are three parties here. Yeah, this is there. Yeah, we have the mithril spear, and you can't change the equipment of most of the Moogles here, but there are three parties, and you can use them. So here's what we're gonna do. First, we're going to defeat all of these enemies. We're just going to attack them regularly. See, you don't have to fight all the fights. You only need to fight enough fights to get to the captain. Um, but you gain gold for winning these fights, so it's not like a bad idea by any means. And actually, I don't know what happens. Like if you die in these fights, what happens? Like I don't even really know because there's more than one party here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quick save here, and we're going to keep fighting these things. Okay, so that party died, but now they're at one hit point each. But that's not really a problem because we're just going to switch to the party that contains Mog. Mog is like the head of the family. He's like the boss. So we're going to fight these guys here. Okay, Mog learned Twilight Requiem. Sometimes the attacks miss. That's sad. Now remember, there's still one more party. So if you your characters die here, it's not a big deal. So it's almost like a war that you can't actually lose. So we have Mog here. We're just going to attack with Mog. Oh, okay. So Mog just died. Not a problem. We still have one more party. Oh, but also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the equipment, and we're just going to remove Mog's equipment because then we'll be able to use them later on. Now, you can't change the equipment of any of these. Chocobo brush. They have some very interesting weapons. Wait, wait a minute. I thought I saw this Mog has a mithril sword. Okay, that's pretty powerful. His name's Mugmug. Mogsy, Mogwin, Mugmug, and Cosmog. Cosmog. Cosmog is a Pokemon. That's funny. That's really funny. It's the name of a Pokemon as well. The Moogles are actually very cute. So now we have these four Moogles at full health. So now we're gonna like defeat the captain of the guard that we lost to previously. And this shouldn't actually even be hard because we're just gonna attack. And these Moogles should be strong enough. They may take a few hits, but we'll probably be able to just wipe out that guard leader, even if we leave one or two Moogles here. Yeah, see, he's defeated. And we got 1640 Gil. Gil is gold. Just what they call gold in this game. It's your money. Okay, so we got this far. So now Locke helps Terra escape the city of Narsh. All right. Locke pulls a lever, and now there's a secret entrance to the cave. So he's going to take Terra out of it. And then Terra is awake again. And she's like, "You saved me? Savior, thanks for the Moogles." And Terra doesn't know who the Moogles are. I don't know why he says that. Oh, I can't remember a thing. It's like my mind's trapped in a fog. And Locke freaks out. He's like, "You lost your memory." Now, you have to understand Locke's former girlfriend Rachel lost her memory, and so he has a very interesting reaction to people who lose their memory. He's obsessed with protecting them, and and so a man said it would come back eventually. He says, "So you've got amnesia. Don't worry, I won't leave your side until your memory returns." And Tara's like, "Why? Like, I'm not gonna end up gonna up and abandon someone just because they lost their memory. I'll keep you safe, I promise." And Tara's like, "Okay, dude. Like, why? Why are you protecting me?" Locke basically has this thing about people who lost their memory. He wants to protect them because he couldn't protect his girlfriend Rachel. Okay, so here, this is the school for beginners. Now, it's important, even though I'm not a beginner, it's important to go in here because in here you have access to a save point. We're gonna save. Yeah, we can quick save, but we can also regular save. So we're just gonna. Okay, so there are there are hidden items here, and here's a chest. There's a monster in a box. It's just a silver lobo. They're not even that strong, but the idea is to earn all the Steam achievements. I will need to gain all of the secret items and open all the treasure chests in the game. And so it's important to still go through the school, and you don't have to talk to the guys unless you want to. Let's see, what does this guy say? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna go here, sleeping bag. Okay, so let's see, are there any more? There's one more room. Is there anything in here we want? Okay, there's another treasure chest. We got a potion. Huh, something note about the reflect spell. Reflect doesn't block spells that have already been blocked once. Huh, cast reflect on an ally, then cast attack spells on that same person to bounce them at an enemy. Get it? Huh, interesting. I'm not sure I get it completely, but he's trying to be helpful. Okay, so here's what we got now. We got all the things in those treasure chests. Also, if you press the Q key, it has a map of the area you're in, but we can't go to those areas because the Narshi soldiers are after us. But if you do tab to switch maps, then you can see your current location, Narshi, and notice that it says we have 3 out of 10 chests and we have 1 out of 3 hidden items. So, and there's more things in the Narchi mines that we'll get later too, but you won't be able to do that until coming back to the town much later in the game. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, we're going to save the game here. Okay, this is very interesting. It's funny you can go over here, but it doesn't actually, it's a dead end, but just wanted to point that out. So now we're fighting different enemies because this is just like the overworld, you know. So there's a few enemies here and there, and we're going to be going to Figaro Castle. It's not it's not that far away. Let's see here. Let's just fight a few monsters here, because that goal is going to be helpful later. It's going to be extremely helpful because we're going to be trying to encounter everything that we possibly can. Because we want to complete the bestiary. I have some empty spots in my bestiary that we have to collect, and there is we're going to be going to Figaro Castle, but first there's something I want to show you. Okay, we're going to save here. Now there's an area here. This is the Chocobo stable. So if you go in the Chocobo stable, you can talk to the Chocobos. There's a few buckets here, and you can talk to the guy. And if you pay him 100 gil, you can rent a Chocobo. Now Chocobos are giant birds, obviously. So a Chocobo is just a giant bird, and you can you can press um, you can press up. You can't go backwards, but the other arrows forward, left, and right control the bird. So you can ride on a bird. Not sure why you would ride on a bird, but if you felt like riding on a bird, you can totally do that here. So it is one way if you want to travel from one area to another. Like here's where we go back all the way back to Narsh. But you can also turn off the random encounters. But you have to admit, wait, wait a minute, I can't. Wait a minute, I can't get out. I'm stuck. Okay. This is funny. I got myself stuck somehow. Let's press backspace and let's disembark. Like that's just weird. Okay, I actually got stuck and I could not ride my way out. But I just wanted to show you the fact that you can ride a bird. It's not really relevant to doing a low level game, but it's something you can do, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, see, the more gold you get, the more potions and Phoenix Downs you can buy, because you're gonna be relying on a lot of potions to get through a low level game. Now the game gets easier later on because even if you can't level up, you get access to magic. Um, Although not all of it is that helpful because you don't have the magic points to really make use of it. So you'll still want to level up later if you want powerful characters. But I'm going to see how far I can go. Okay. Okay, so Terra's dead. But Locke should be able to finish this fight. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Mirage Dive. Guys, did you see that? That's the Mirage Dive. Locke had 2 hit points left, and when your hit points are critically low, you do what's called a limit break. They call it a desperation attack in Final Fantasy VI, but it's the exact same thing as a limit break in Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VI introduced the limit break. It's actually a really cool feature. So here's what we're gonna do here: is we're in Figaro Castle and we have to talk to King Edgar. Okay, we're gonna talk to the king, and King Edgar wants to flirt with Terra. Yeah, he wants to flirt with Terra, and Terra's like, "Who are you? Oh, my apologies. How rude of me to turn my back to a lady on our very first meeting." The young king of Figaro Castle, imperial ally and champion of the technological revolution. He's not actually an empire ally, but he pretends to be. He says, "I am Edgar, the king of Figaro. Hey, surprised that someone like me knows a king? Well, I'll catch you two later." Okay. So you're an imperial soldier, right? Don't worry, Figaro and the Empire are allies. Feel free to rest here for as long as you'd like. It's not in my blood to harm a lady. Why are you being so kind to me? Is it because of my abilities? I'll give you 3 reasons. First of all, your beauty has captivated me. Second, I'm dying to know if I'm your type. I guess your abilities would rank a distant third. And Tara's like, what? What's the matter? Guess my technique's getting a bit rusty. Edgar the King likes to flirt with the ladies. That's his weakness. Tara says, I suppose some girls would have felt something from those words, but not me. Now the thing is, Tara is asexual. That's what this means. But it's hidden in there. It's hidden deep in there. But Tara is asexual. She does not understand people being romantic or flirting with her. She doesn't get it. That's part of why I like Tara as a character, because I feel like she's the asexual representation the world needs. She doesn't understand it. Now she understands love, as you'll find out later in the story, but she doesn't understand romantic love. That's the struggle. So while we're in the castle, we're going to buy 10 Phoenix Downs, and might not be a bad idea to just, buy like 50 potions. Yeah, let's buy 50 potions. Those potions are going to come in handy. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you collect some items. Okay, now these are important because there's the auto crossbow, the noise blaster, and the bio blaster. These are tools that King Edgar actually uses. It's important to buy them because Edgar is going to be one of your party members later on. Let's see here. Yeah, here's another chest. We want to collect all of the items that we can, because the more items you have, the more you can sell, and you can equip them as part of your weapons and armor. So you want to collect all the treasure chests, not just for the Steam achievements, bragging rights that like, hey, I completed all the achievements. By the way, speaking of bragging, I did complete all the achievements for Final Fantasy 1 of the Pixel Remaster. So we're going to save the game outside the castle there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go right back in, and we're going to look, let's see, how many chests are there? There's more chests to collect and there's more hidden items. I don't have to get all of them right now, but let's see if there's a few more I can get, because there's a little cutscene you have to view. Okay, that's just the jail where they keep prisoners. And this guy, so like if you try to go down the stairs, he doesn't let you. It's because it's dangerous down there. Okay. Now here, this is actually very interesting. If we go in here, we're going to notice there is a library. There's a library with books, and the ancients once wielded a force known as magic. Those who mastered the art were called magi. You don't have to talk to these guys, but they are historians in the library. Scholars all over the world are busy studying magic, but you can only learn so much about something without seeing it. So they've been studying magic, trying to figure out about the War of the Magi and all that, by reading books. So yeah, so here, so this area here, there is a bed there, but there's a scene with Locke. There's a guy here. But in order to continue, there's another person you have to talk to. Okay, so that means we actually have to, yeah, so we actually have to go over here, and we have to talk to these people in here. Okay, so you can talk to this girl. She says, His Majesty said he'd marry me when I got old enough. That ain't creepy at all now, is it? That's weird. Here's another guy. The Castalian Empire has already overthrown all 3 of the other nations on the southern continent. Yeah, okay. The Empire will be coming to Figaro Castle very soon, but you have to talk to this lady. Also, there's a bed here. You can go inside the bed for some if you felt like it, but it doesn't do anything. Edgar has a twin brother, you know. He was such a nice boy, always thinking of his family. So then there's a little scene here that happens. So you get to understand that Edgar had a twin brother. Edgar, what's wrong with Dad? Why is everyone talking about a successor? Are you blind? Haven't you seen how thin his face has become? What do you mean? Edgar, the truth is the king is dying, but Edgar doesn't want to tell his little brother about it. Doesn't think he'll understand. Edgar's twin brother who traded the throne for his own freedom. So his name's Sabin, but you can really name him anything you want. Anyway, so what you want to do now that you've done that, it's actually good to, after that, I'm going to go outside the castle and I'm going to save one more time, just in case I mess up in the following area. So first of all, let's, okay. So now we're going to go to the right side of the castle. We're going to go down these stairs again. And if you've talked to the old lady and learned that Edgar had a brother named Sabin, then you go here. Or wait, or is that wrong? Oh, that's right. I forgot you have to talk to the king again. Look, it has been a while since I started a new game, so my memory is a little bit rusty of how this works. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go outside, and then we're just gonna go back in the castle. It's a shortcut. And that stupid annoying guard is like, halt! Oh, it's you. Like, okay, it's a girl with green hair. I'll let you in because you're cool. So now we're going to go back to the throne room. We're going to talk to the king. So let's talk to Edgar. Well, how do you like my castle? King Edgar, there's someone from the Empire here to see you, sire. Kefka, no doubt. Ooh, Emperor Gestal's stupid orders. Edgar, you pinhead, why do you have to live out in the middle of a stinking desert? His recon jobs are the pits. And Kefka complains that there's sand on his boots and makes the soldiers clean it. He is a general of the Empire, but he's really just a spoiled brat. Also, he wears a lot of rainbows. And one thing I don't like about it is everything about Kefka looks very gay. But what I don't like about it is that he's the villain. Of course, they always make the gay character the villain. Now, of course, we don't know for sure that Kefka's gay, but I almost feel like the fact that he's all dressed in rainbow so much was meant back in the 90s to paint gay people as the villain. That's one thing I don't like. Now, that may not have been the intention behind it, but some people could interpret it that way. But that doesn't mean that Square Enix is officially hating the gays. That's not what that means. I just know that somebody may have hidden that message in there who were part of the staff. It's really hard to know. But anyway, Kefka is evil, but not all the gays are. Just wanted to put that out there. So they're looking for Tara, and he's like, there are more girls in here than the grains of sand in the desert. A man couldn't possibly keep track of them all. Oh, Edgar, you know you only stand to lose by trying to hide her from us. So Kefka is basically threatening to harm Figaro. Yeah. So he's going to tell Locke to take Tara to her room, and King Edgar is going to have a plan because he knows that the Empire is going to attack him, so he's forming a plan. So Locke wants me to follow him, but I already know exactly where he's going. But He blocked my way. I know precisely where he's going. I've been there twice already in this playthrough, and this is exactly where Locke goes. You go here and you talk to Locke. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag you around like that. I'm coughing again. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag you around like this without giving you a chance to rest. I'm Locke, right? Edgar told me about you. Is it true you're a thief? I'm a treasure hunter. On the surface, Edgar pretends to support the Empire. Truth is, he's collaborating with an underground resistance group called the Returners. I serve as their go-between. The old man you met in Narsh is one of us too. The Empire, but I'm an Imperial soldier. Not anymore. They were using you, that's all. Things are different now. It's just I don't know what I should do. Whenever I try to think, it just makes my head hurt even worse. I know the feeling, Tara. All that matters is that you make your own decisions from now on. Try not to think too hard right now. You'll know what you want to do when the time comes. But how will I know which choice is right? So you see, Tara doesn't know what she's doing, and she has amnesia. But she wants to know what's the right choice, not just what she wants to do, but which choice is right. You gotta love Tara. Tara is such a wonderful, protagonist. She's such a wonderful character. She has a moral code. She cares about right. She's asexual, which is why she doesn't understand when Edgar flirts with her. Okay, you can hear the flames, can't you? So basically, Kefka set fire to the castle, which I'm not sure because it looks like a stone castle. How does it burn? Okay, so he talks to this soldier, and Kefka thinks he's going to give him Tara, and he pretends he's going to, but instead, Edgar escapes. And he's not just escaping, he's actually going to save all his people. Oh my, the brave and noble king abandons his people to save his own skin. How utterly delightful. Hee hee hee. Okay, and then you see here, Tara and Locke, they jump onto the birds there. And here's the genius of it. This is the genius of the whole thing. Is that the castle actually can go underground because it was built that way. Edgar built the castle in such a way that it would go underground. It can die, which is going to put out the flames by suffocating all the flames, and it protects everyone in the castle. Witness the glory of Figaro. You gotta love this. This is really good. So the castle just goes underneath the sand, and then Kefka is just like left out in the sand by himself. Okay, go kill them. So he sends these magistrate soldiers after these three characters, thinking that they can kill them. Finally, the birds just disappear during the battle. Nobody knows why. Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Okay, that's absolutely insane. Like, because Locke basically had like no hit points left. That was really sad. Um, so it's up to Edgar to win this battle. Oh, I don't like that at all. That's not good. Yeah. Hopefully, yep. Edgar just uses auto crossbow and the battle's over. Bravo, Figaro! So then they just ride back. They were suddenly on the birds. Like, where did the birds go during the battle? Like, they were riding the birds, then they were just standing without the birds, and then Kefka's all mad. Son of a sandworm, you'll pay for this. Like, dude, Kefka's like, he's not just evil, he's also funny. Those are those are bad people. I'm scared. So this is where Locke and Edgar talk about bringing Tara to the meet the leader of the returners. I don't know any more than you do. These powers just come naturally to me. But no human is born with the powers you have. And then Terra's like, what? Forgive me. What should I do? The Empire will be coming after us. They want your powers for their own. And if they get them, the world is done for. Terra, you want to understand your own powers, don't you? No, I think you should meet with Bannon. He may be able to help you find out more about why you have them. Please, Edgar's right. So we escaped from Kefka and we are on the bird again. So we have the bird and we're gonna go down, we're gonna go this way, we're gonna go down to the cave. Okay, we're gonna get off the bird. So here's the thing. So yes, so two of the characters have already died, but we're gonna bring them back to life soon. I'm still progressing through the story here. Actually, how long have I been streaming this? Oh, it's been a little over an hour. Um, yeah, let's see here. I'm not sure how much longer I'll go with this stream. I can't stream the whole game in one sitting, but I think I'm going to go for another 20 minutes or so, make it an hour and a half. I think that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, we've already made it through several of the beginning parts of the game. We're going to talk to the soldier. So I'm going to skip through the dialogue because you can see all the dialogue by, playing through the game yourself. So this is the recovery spring. So when you touch the recovery spring, all your characters that were killed just come back to life. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to, we're just going to fight the random encounters that come along. We're going to collect some treasure chests in this cave. Because there's some treasure chests to collect. Gotta love Edgar's auto crossbow. It's actually kind of an overpowered weapon at this point. Yeah, and also what we're going to do is we're going to use Terra's cure to heal the party because we can recover her magic points by going back to the recovery spring. We just don't want to die before we get to that point. So, or we may not even need to go back because we may be able to complete this cave without going back. But we're getting more money every time we fight these battles. And also keep in mind that when it comes to abilities, Edgar can't use magic, Locke can't use magic, only Terra can come. And they all have titles Machinist, Magitech Elite, and Adventurer. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we want to collect these chests. And let's see here. There's three chests and zero hidden items. So there's only one more chest to collect. We're gonna go over here and collect the final chest. Yeah. These random battles may take time, but it's important that if you're playing your own low level game, that you take time to actually do the battles because you're gonna need that money. I promise you that. Okay. Okay. So we have escaped from the cave. We collected 3 treasure chests, and we got a bunch more money from fighting the enemies here. So now what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go over, there's a little house here. Now there's Belmodar. That's actually one of the stronger enemies in this game. He's kind of powerful when your characters are low level, but you can still defeat him with the help of those 3 characters. So if you go here, there's a little cabin, and if you go here, they're like, what's that smell? Okay. So what you can do here is you can sleep in this bed and you can recover your hit points and magic points. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to restore our character's health by sleeping in the bed. Okay, there's a hidden item. This tea, it was his favorite. So Edgar's starting to notice that there are things that his brother Sabin liked. Looks like any of these beds you can sleep in. Are there any more hidden items here? Duncan's cabin. Okay, there was 1 hidden item and there's 0 chests. Actually, it's cool because if you look at this, you can see, have you collected all of the items in those areas? The Narshi mines we're going to have to go back to later on. Could Sabin be living here? He wonders if his brother Sabin has been living in that cabin. Oh, and here's a guy. Hey, do you happen to know where I could find the man who lives here? Sure do. A couple of days ago, as soon as he heard Master Duncan had been killed, headed up to the mountains. They say Duncan's son Vargas is missing too. I don't like it one bit. And then the old man, he just like leaves. Where's the old man going? That's just weird. That was just creepy. But yeah, here we are. We haven't leveled up any of our characters yet, and we're just relying on Edgar's tools, Terra's magic, and Locke's just basic attack. Like Locke doesn't have any superpowers other than stealing, and stealing doesn't really work very well in a low level game. Um, so it's kind of crazy. So I mean, we can fight a few more monsters here, but I think we have enough encounters that we can actually buy some more items because we want to buy some important items. So we're going to go in the town and oh, there's Shadow. Oh, okay, look at this. Okay, yeah, there are some hidden items, and you want to collect any hidden items that you can find in this town. Okay, but you can buy weapons and armor. First of all, let's make sure all of the characters are equipped with the best weapons and armor they have. That's going to be important for future battles. And here is the relic shop. So he's wearing the running shoes there. Yeah, and Mog offers an explanation of different relics, but I'm skipping through that because I know the relics. So, okay, sprint shoes. We don't really need sprint shoes, or do we? No, because our character already walks. But you know what? In case I want sprint shoes later on, I might as well buy a sprint shoes. Okay, now silver spectacle prevent darkness. Let's buy one of those. Star pendant prevents poison. Um, let's buy 4-star pendants because poison's annoying. Now this prevents petrification. Um, and okay, Knight's Code is actually a very helpful item. It's actually pretty helpful. I know what it does. It makes you protect allies that are critically low on their hit points. Let's see, is there anything hidden here? Are there any hidden items? And like, okay, so I'm gonna go in this room and I'm gonna get in bed with this man. Figaro Castle stood up to the Empire. Great, now we'll be drawn into the war. So I don't know why, like, you just walk into this bed. That's just weird. Um, So there's people here. So yeah, there's some people here. Let's see here. There's a merchant here. Huh. Yeah, that was just weird. Like, yeah, that was weird. Like, you talk to the guy and he's like, I have a business to run. That's just strange, man. But yeah, let's see here. I want to find the weapon shop because there is a weapon shop somewhere in this town. We need to get. Oh, where is this? The merchant. Oh, the merchant. Where's he going? Oh, there's the merchant guy. Oh yeah, so there's the merchant. Is he in? Is it? Oh, the merchant is delivering. Who? Yeah, the merchant is delivering the cider. Yeah, that merchant delivers the cider. I don't like strangers. Bring me some cider and maybe I'll talk to you. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm just seeing if there are any hidden items here. I still need to find where the weapon shop is. Okay, here's the weapon shop. Are there any weapons that are stronger than what we have to equip? Okay, the mithril sword. Okay, there is a mithril sword and there's a great sword. We have those. So if we buy a great sword, and then what we're going to do is we're going to equip. Okay, okay. Let's just check because it shows you arrows if there's anything. Okay, so we have everyone equipped with the best weapon they can have at this stage in the game. Okay, heavy shield. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna buy two heavy shields, one for Terra and one for Locke. There's hairband. But yeah, we're gonna buy two plumed hat. We're gonna buy a cotton robe for Terra, a Gento gi for Locke. We want all of the best. Yeah, we want the best armor too. Trust me, every little bit of weapon and armor. Wait, plumed hat. What's that? Wait. I already equipped. Oh, they have it equipped, but we need one more. Okay, so now we have everyone optimally equipped. So we've got all of our characters equipped with some stuff here. That's going to be important. Okay, so but there is another thing that I want to do here. So actually, that's right. I can't do much about it now. Actually, there is another area that I need to go. I need to visit because there may be some treasure chests in this town that will be helpful if I can get their items. So we need to go to the rich man's house. There is a rich man. Um, okay, so here we are. So we're gonna go in this rich man's house. This is interesting. Okay, let's see here. There's a Phoenix down. If you go over here, there's a secret place, and there is an elixir. The elixir could be helpful, but mostly we're trying to collect all of the hidden items. That's what? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there's a there's a secret passage there. I forgot about that. I've gone through it before, but it's actually kind of weird. Like there's a secret passage, but when you try to go back into it from here, you can't. That's just really weird. But you can go through that secret passage anyway. Let's go back to the rich man's house. Okay. And okay, so let's go here. Actually, you can change which character is displayed. I don't like Edgar, and Locke is okay, but Tara has green hair, so let's have Tara with the green hair be walking around. Okay, so my dad's super important. So important people come here for dinner all the time, even General Lee. I mean, generally. I forgot what I was going to say. Clang, clang, clang. I'm Magitech armor. Yeah, I know exactly what these kids are saying. General Leo has visited this town. He's talked to the father of these characters. Anyway, so yeah. So he's actually made a deal um, with the Empire. And this lady, there's always a nasty draft in this room. Oh, where is it coming from? I'm afraid I'll catch cold. The draft is coming from behind the bookcase. This passage is going to be important later on. But right now, I'm coming down here because I want to see if any of the items are going to be helpful in the coming fight. Okay, we got Hyper Wrist and we've got Hermes Sandals. Okay, Hermes Sandal is actually very important because what it does is it casts haste on your character. So we're gonna put the Hermes Sandal and the Hyper Wrist on Edgar. And then we're going to, let's see here. I don't know what I'm going to put on Terra, but let's see here. Let's give Locke the Knight's Code, and let's give him something to protect against poison. We're just equipping our characters with the best we have available, and that's going to become very important later on. So here is a room where there are some chests. All the treasure chests that we can collect. Yeah, there's some more money. Okay. Now we can't progress past this right now, but we want to collect these treasure chests because there's more money. That money is gonna be able to buy us more stuff. So we've collected all the items we can for this point in the town, pretty much. So we're gonna get out of here. There is a save point here, although it's not clear why there's a save point. Later on, it becomes more important to understand why there's a save point there, but there happens to be one. And this room, you will see this room again later in the story. If you play this game, you know exactly what takes place in this room. But we don't talk about that. We're not going to talk about what happens there. And you can't read these books either. I kind of wish I could read those books. Um, but yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of the story because I kind of want people to experience the story for themselves. Anyway, like these people don't even seem to bother that Tara is just like walking through their house and they don't know who she is. It's like, oh, random people just walk through my house all the time. Like it doesn't bother me. Like okay, like these people are weird, man. Like people with green hair just be walking in their house and it's like they just talk to him like normal. Like it's completely normal for people in red armor and green hair to just walk into your house and start talking to you. But then again, they talk to General Leo too. So what does that tell you? Oh man. Okay. Oh, we have a chatter. I see the chat by Dreams Z1476. Best viewers on. Best viewers on. Huh, interesting. Well, I don't know what you meant exactly, but thank you for the comment anyway. So here's what, okay, I've been streaming for about an hour and 24 minutes. I'm going to see if I can get through the fight with Vargas, because that would be a good stopping place. If I can get through the fight with Vargas in the mountains, that would actually be very good. So we're just going to keep fighting these random enemies, but we have upgraded equipment, so we're not doing too bad. but we want to collect a full bestiary, so getting all the random enemies encountered while we travel through this game is actually relevant because I missed so many bestiary entries when I played through this game the first time since I bought it on PC. I bought the Pixel Remaster, I bought the whole collection, and I've already got all the achievements in the first Final Fantasy game. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, Edgar defeated him with the auto crossbow, but look how the hit points are already getting low. And Terra can't do much with her magic at this low of a level, but she has magic points to heal your characters. So I'm gonna quick save just in case I die. If only you could do that in real life. You know what I'm saying? If only you could do that in real life where you just quick save, so like if you die, you just go back to your previous quick save. Okay, you can't get anything there, but I feel like Edgar with his auto crossbow is kind of what really gets you through the beginning stages of the game. Later on, he's not really that good of a character, but he gets the drill, which is not bad. But it's really Cyan. Like, okay, don't get me wrong, my favorite character is Terra, and I like using Locke as a basic physical attacker. But I also, and Celis is great because she also has magic. But one problem is they are not the best character. The best character, like strength wise, has got to be Cyan. But you have to level him up to get that. You have to level Cyan up, and we can't do that in a low level game. So Cyan is not really like the overpowered character in a low level game. However, he's still very powerful. He does have a very useful ability that we're going to be making use of because he's a mandatory character. You have to use Cyan to win some upcoming battles, but we don't have that character in our party yet. That's later in the story. The Cyan is a knight of the city of Doma. Oh, I hear my mom getting up to use the restroom. If she decides that she has to come down, then that means I have to move out of this bathroom, and then that means I'll have to end this stream for now. And I hope it doesn't come to that. I really hope it doesn't. I hope I have a little bit more time here. Okay, yeah, my characters are dying. Okay, first of all, let's sort the items. Let's use a potion to restore Edgar's health, and then let's quick save again. Okay, what time is it? Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get to a save point. I'm gonna get to a save point here. Okay. Okay. We want to make Edgar is our only living character. We don't want him to die. Okay. Oh, okay. Here's our save point, guys. This is our save point. I'm going to use a we're gonna use this tent to recover all the characters, bring them back to life. That's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna save the game. we're going to save the game to slots 1, 2, and 3 at exactly 1 hour and 18 minutes. So that's a good place to stop this stream. That's a perfect place. We are right in this cave, and I'm going to stop this